biggest challenges you guys face with this Cowboys defense?
Well, you see from evidence of this last game how tenacious they are. I mean, that defensive line, they fly around. Their defense right now, they're playing with a lot of confidence. You know, anytime you get into these short weeks, or short days, hours, you're trying to get as much as you can, see what you can. And you just see on tape, like they fly around, and I have a lot of respect for Coach Eberflus and what he does on defense. And I think the biggest thing is, again, I know they've given up some points early in the year, but I think right now when you watch the film, you see that they're flying around, and they just had a heck of a game against Philadelphia.
Matt, you're close with Pat. What do you think going back home to Dallas and the Cowboys is going to mean to him?
It'll be special for him any way you look at it. I mean, for 4 years now, we've been going back and forth on Pennsylvania versus Texas high school football, and so I know how much pride he has in Texas and going back home. So it'll be big for him, but at the same time, he keeps it all in perspective.
In terms of your group, what makes Mike Caliendo such a good plug-and-play option for you?
He knows everything. He's just he's a guy that every day in practice. I think back to like in training camp, just the way how focused and where he's at. You go back to last year in the Super Bowl, and I know. And not just the Super Bowl, but before that, being able to step in and do the things he did is valuable for us. So we have a lot of trust in him, and we think he's in a great spot.
What's on your mind the most about dealing with a short week? What are the things that just concern you?
Short week-wise is you really have to just lock in on what you do well. There's so much that goes into it. Just right after the game, guys are banged up. We had 96 plays. So on offense, that's a lot of plays, and so guys are usually it's the second day, which is today, that guys get the most sore. So there's a balance of the physical part, but also and taking care of them there, but then also the mental side of how you handle that, because that's very important here. I mean, in 2 more days, they're back out on the field with the possibility of a lot more plays. So we have to make sure that there's that balance of giving them what we see with Dallas, letting them understand what we're doing, so that in the end you want to be able to play fast.
Matt, what are your thoughts on? Go ahead.
What stood out to you about the couple plays that Rashid made on the last drive of regulation, just to get things going there?
The stuff he does after the catch, strong hands, and making big plays at big time moments. I mean, that's what was so neat to see. One of the ones to me that was just so critical in that game was when we were backed up, and he made that catch over the middle. Running after that, he's hard to bring down, you know, so he plays physical football, and I really like his growth there as that game went on, and I think he's really starting to, you know, getting back into conditioning and stuff like that. I like where he's at.
Man, how about just the way Kareem held up and how he responded to the fumble?
Well, again, we joke with him, I mean, 30 carries, and you know, for somebody that is no spring chicken with where he's at, but I mean, he's so tough. I mean, he's such a valuable part to this offense. For him to come back the way he did just shows his leadership. I think the guys too on the sideline they were so great with him, just being there for him. And that's probably one of the things that throughout that game, as that game went on, it was early on, it just didn't go the way we wanted it to go, but the guys stuck together, and then we found a way to win in the end, all 3 phases, and it was a team game, and that was a part of it. I mean, when you lose the ball down there in the red zone, that's a big play, you know, but the defense stepped up, everyone stayed together, and then those guys made plays as we moved on.
Matt, what are your thoughts on Josh Simmons since he's returned, especially last game?
He's doing great. I love his athleticism. He's physical. He's nasty. He's really he sets the tone on the offensive side of the ball for us. I mean, you put on that tape, and we couldn't spend too much time on the tape. I mean, you gotta get right into the next game. So, but you see it, and you see what he's doing, and there's some nastiness. And I think anytime you can get nasty on the O-line level, man, that's a beautiful thing.
Nate?
Matt, you mentioned it earlier, but what concerns you most about your guys' just slow starts over the last couple months now, particularly in the first quarter?
I would just say probably it's I look at it and I think, Nate, that it's more of a, when you look at, we get down into that big red zone, and there, for whatever reason, there's these penalties, and you look at them like, which ones can you control? And so a few weeks ago we had some holds early on. When it's illegal shifts or motion, stuff like that, that's so controllable. Those got to be eliminated. If it's a hold, if it's a face mask, you know, they can become more gray because of how it goes on. But in the end, you can't do it. So you have a touchdown taken away in the first half, can't do it. I don't care, you know, you just cannot have that happen. So, but we battled back. We've been talking about it. The guys know it. We emphasize it. But you got to do it now. And when we don't do that, we're pretty good.
When,
Last one, Todd.
a lot of talk about the RPOs and whatever, just the, whatever you guys, you call them, straight runs or.
Breather runs.
Breather runs.
Yeah.
On that, did you run more breather runs this week? Did it just dictate that way? I mean, I know it was disappointing the first RPO ended up getting.
Yeah, that was tough. It was maybe a little bit more. There was probably a little bit more of those. Again, those are two, when you can get in a rhythm, I thought we were able to, even when we weren't scoring touchdowns in the first half, we were moving the ball. So there's a balance of those breather runs. And then when you have RPO runs too, sometimes you all know when it's a throw, obviously you think it's maybe a pass call and it could be an RPO, or sometimes it's just a straight run call and it's a breather run from the gun that looks the same. So in the end, we don't care. We want to be able to get production and stay I mean, that helps us in the play actions. That helps us in the screen game. And when you're calling breather runs for your team, it's also, we call it a breather run for a reason. It takes one less thing off the quarterback to think about on every play. So those are good.
Thank you, Coach.
Hey, Coach.
Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving.